Hello and welcome to I'm Organic Gardening, located in Zone 6B in the state of New Jersey. And yes, we got a big, huge flood the other day from Hurricane Henri. We got over 9 inches of rain, and it's devastated my garden. It's flooded the areas, and let's say a prayer to all those people out there that got even more rain and they had problems with their homes and even possibly loss of life. But I just want to give you an update. I'm still here, and thanks for all the emails of the concern. Again, we got 9 inches of rain. The power went out, and it was just a crazy week. It's been a week since my last video, and what I want to show you is that I can't show you too much what's going on right now because it's humid, the ground is saturated, and all this past week we had tornado warnings, we had rain every day in the last 7 days prior to Henri coming to us, and it's just been a pure mess. But I want to show you what I try to start with a new garden. I didn't get any more seeds in the ground because I want to plant my fall garden, but now, like where I'm standing, I'm actually standing on a board, and so I don't sink in the ground. It feels like walking on a huge sponge, and it's supposed to get back in the 90s, and a lot of the stuff that I planted will probably just bolt anyway, and some of the stuff is washed away, so I have to replant everything, and we're going to go from the beginning again. But stick with me. Hopefully this weekend everything will dry out. The sun is out today, got the nice blue shirt on, and everything's looking good. Hopefully you can see this. We have some nice sun gold cherry tomatoes. There's so many of them in here right now, and I have to get out here and pick them because they are actually starting to split from all the rain, but not as many as I thought, and we'll have a bountiful harvest. They're all looking good. There's a nice little cluster there. Just delicious to eat, and I make my own little pizza out of them, and they're great with mozzarella cheese. And my zinnias has survived the storm, which is looking good also too. They're about 3 feet tall right now. Here's my 50-foot row of heirloom tomatoes, and I'll show you a couple of them. They're just going to start ripening up in the next week or so. So here we have, and I'll block out the sun so you can see them, some nice heirloom tomatoes here and down here below. And also this one's doing very nicely also too. We got a couple more. They're laying on the ground. Hopefully they'll ripen up soon. They're just starting to get there and looking good. And all these that we have here are going to weigh at least a pound a piece easily. Just doing great this year, no splitting, and they're hopefully hanging in there and they won't split any further or even start to split. Again, a nice beautiful cluster. I'll block the sun out of the way. Let's see if we can get some of these leaves out. Oh, just ready to ripen soon, and all looking very well and very nice. Again, just grown organically, no fertilizer, using the soil food web, and getting these delicious tomatoes onto my table so I can just sit there and add some bacon if I wish to, or other things, and they're just gorgeous. And this is what happens when you get a lot of rain. They split, and this was a beauty. Let's see if I can get this off of here without a problem. I'll just twist it off because I can still eat this, and I will probably salvage the bottom part of it like so. And that's how beautiful and big that tomato is. But again, with all this 9 inches of rain, that's exactly what happens. But we can eat the other side of it, and I'm going to have this for lunch in about another half hour or so. Just gorgeous, and I wish it was better. I had to put up this electric fence to keep the foxes out, but after I planted up my zucchini and squash, yellow squash, summer squash last week, they went in there and they started digging in the holes because they saw a couple things happening. And I want to see how my squash is doing after the Hurricane Henri, and we'll also fix this electric fence because it's moving down and falling down in a couple areas. So you can see here's one yellow squash coming up, and we'll go right down the row. But I planted 2 or 3 seeds in there, and there's only about, well, there's 2 right there, but they seem to be doing okay. And here we have a couple more coming up. But you see here, and I'll get over to this spot. Now, I planted in here, and there's nothing coming up. except one at the very end. So I'm gonna have to replant. I don't know if the wind broke them off or it just didn't germinate. See what's going on here. It's not foxes. This is actually a coyote paw print here in the mud, and it leans over there. I picked up the fence and reestablished it. So we're getting a lot of creatures around here. So here's my new fall garden area that I'm trying to establish. It's about 20 feet across this way and 70 feet long that way. And I want to put down that plastic tarp or woven fabric cover, but today is not a good day to do it. I don't want to crush the soil. And this is the soil that I've been building on my farm here. And you can see how it just ran away from all the, let's say, deluge of 9 inches of rain that we got. And this is my other field that I want to plant in also too. Again, nice new soil. It's not compost, and a lot of people will see this as compost, but it's really not. I can completely understand why people think I grow in compost, but this is actually my soil. I've been working on it for like the last 8 years since I started YouTube. And what's going on with this is what you're seeing is, yes, there's some organic matter in there, but it's all the roots left over from the cover crops, taking carbon out of the atmosphere and putting it back into the ground. That's why you see this beautiful, rich soil. And that's why it's so important to put mulch down or something, because even here, I terminated a cover crop of buckwheat, let's say just 2 weeks ago, and we had all this rain, and you can see those weeds coming up, and they will just get as tall as my carrots, my beets, and else too, and it will just be devastating for that crop because they won't be able to get sunlight. So it's always important to put a mulch down, and that's why I'm trying to use that woven fabric, because I don't have any mulch on the farm. I wasn't able to get wood chips this year or a large amount of leaves last year. I've been calling up, and it's just not working out for me. I just wanted to share this short little video with you. We'll get back on track in the next couple of days. Hopefully this weekend I can put out another video and showing planting up the fall seeds in the garden, and hopefully we'll get back to normal. But right now it is saturated. It feels like an Amazon rainforest. Humidity's like 97%, and it's just not healthy for a lot of things, but we'll make it through and we'll get back on track. I'll talk to you again shortly. Give it a thumbs up if you can, and I'll see you this weekend, weather permitting. Have a great day and enjoy gardening. Bye.